Lesson 4: The Acts of Thomas. Acts of Thomas, a New Testament apocryphal work, can be called a missionary travelogue of St. Thomas in India, but not in the full sense of the term. Acts of Thomas is one of the important sources to study the history of the mission of St. Thomas in India. It speaks about the apostle's voyage to India, his ministry, miracles, martyrdom, and burial in India. According to Acts of Thomas, India, where Thomas first arrived, was the India ruled by King Gundafaras, which can be called Indo-Parthia, which corresponds to northwest India before India's partition. Gnostic Puritan ideas are seen all throughout this work, as this was used by the Gnostics of the early centuries. This is true not only with the Acts of Thomas, but also with Acts written in the names of Peter, Paul, Andrew, or John, which are the first 5 important Acts of the Apostles written in almost the same period. Being an apocryphal work, it should be studied diligently and critically, taken into account its peculiar literary genre. Divesting of the fictitious elements, the Acts of Thomas gives the following account. St. Thomas came to India, preached the gospel in the kingdom of certain Gundafaras, and converted to Christianity the king along with many others. He then proceeded to another kingdom in India and converted the queen and several others. At the conversion of the queen, King Masdai got angry and ordered the apostle to be slain. The apostle died a martyr. Thus, the Acts of Thomas, no doubt, contributes to the historicity of the Indian mission of St. Thomas. It is historical in the sense that it was composed on a historical date and in a historical place, and based its story on historical places, persons, and events. It is written in Edessa in between 220 to 230 AD. 4 important persons are here mentioned, like St. Thomas, Gundafaras, Abdagasas or Gad, the successor of Gundafar, and Haban. Gundafaras or Gundafar and his brother Gad are kings who ruled India or some Indian provinces such as Punjab, Indus Valley, etc. From the coins and inscriptions, it is clear that Gundafaras was a Parthian king who once ruled Parthian domain, which included large parts of North India. The coins and inscriptions again say that the year of the beginning of his reign is 20 AD. As Gundafaras is mentioned in the Acts of Thomas, in close connection with the Apostle Thomas, it is historically quite possible that the Apostle visited that portion of India during the reign of this king The contents of this work, consisting of 13 acts or chapters in 170 paragraphs, convey the mission of Thomas in India under various dimensions. It describes the adventures and martyrdom of the apostle, whom it portrays as Jesus' twin brother. Saint Ephraim and later Saint Gregory of Tours recognize as historical the incidents mentioned in the Acts of Thomas. The substance of this book is of great antiquity, and it seems that in its original form it was held in high esteem by the heretics of the 1st and 2nd centuries. According to St. Augustine and Epiphanes, the Acts of Thomas is seen in the hands of the heretics of the 4th and 5th centuries. Different Gnostic groups were reading the Acts of Thomas in their assemblies. This discloses the fact that Acts of Thomas and other acts were made use of by these groups for a doctrinal purpose, in order to set up some theory or tenet of their own, which they sought to inculcate in their followers and propagate among others. Egeria, a Spanish lady who conducted a pilgrimage in Edessa on 19th April 384, in her travel diary called Peregrinatio ad Loca Santa, mentions this book. The texts of the Acts of Thomas, which she found at the martyrium in Edessa, where the relics of apostle was kept and venerated, narrates the mission of Thomas to India and his martyrdom there. The fact that either Acts of Thomas or a part of it is kept in the holy place may be a testimonial to the fact that the Syrian church in Edessa gives much importance to this book. The general consensus is that it was written in the Syriac milieu and most probably in Edessa, a city in northern Mesopotamia, the center of Syriac Christianity. Edessa, the center of Syriac Christianity, claims also the apostolic tradition of St. Thomas. Edessa has also the privilege to possess the body of St. Thomas that had been brought from India. St. Ephraim gives the details of the translation of body of St. Thomas to Edessa from India in his book Carmina Nisibena. Thus, we can speak of a Thomas tradition prominent in Edessa.